Hey YouTube, how's it going? KSM Pro Dragons here, bringing you a more competitive deck profile of the Rokket Dragon Links. So just an upgrade of the Rokket budget profile I did before. Got a few interesting sort of deck combinations in here. Slightly bigger deck as well, so 45 cards. But I've done quite a lot of test hands on this and I found it really comboed up well, and didn't really matter what cards I had in my hand. I was able to go and do something and always have a board of a couple of boss monsters, which is always pretty good. Probably a bit more budget still versus like some other Dragon Link decks. However, the cards I'm using here are the cards I've actually pulled from packs or bought from the Rokket Revolution deck. Cool. So let's go. So first things first, we'll do the Rokket. So I've got 3 Rokket Tracer. Really good card. It's a card I don't never use at the start of my combos. It's always a card I use towards the end of my combos. And that's mainly because it has that rule of if it uses its effect, you can only summon dark monsters for the rest of the turn. So it would like rule out the Guard Dragon play or rule out the Ib play. So if you got it in your hand and you got like a quick launch instead, it's always something I'll keep towards the end of my turn rather than something at the start. So yeah, got 3 Rokket Tracers. And then I've got 2 Absolute Dragon. So yeah, another good card to have in your hand. So if you got this in quick launch, you know, you can pretty much full combo from there and build some nice boss monsters on the field. And obviously it's got a really good effect, like you can special summon it if you've got a Rokket on the field. If it goes to the graveyard, you can add a Rokket to your hand. So like a good card you can use as a discard cost as well. So that's 2 of those. And then I've got some individual Rockets. And this is for like mainly situational plays. Let's bring them across. So I've got a Silver Rokket, I've got a Rokket Synchron, a Shell Rokket, and a Meta Rokket. So the reason I chose these was it's just more what you can do with them against your opponent. So if you can target them, well, Rokket Synchron is if you can normal summon it or special summon a level 5 or low or higher from your graveyard, which would normally be Absolute Dragon. And the other 3 is more situational play. So like if I can get Silver Rocket's effect to work, then you can banish from your opponent's extra deck. If you get Shell Rokket and Mecha Rokket to work, you either destroy something in the columns or you destroy a monster ahead of it and then adjacent from it as well. So just kind of good removal style. So, and I just find it quite fun actually if the effects pull off. Cool, so that's that. And then for my starter plays, I'm actually playing 2 White Rose Dragons and 1 Glow Up Bowl. This is probably pretty standard. So, you know, you'd either have Glow Up Bulb in your hand and you summon it and then you can special summon White Rose, or you have like 1 for 1 and you send this to the graveyard and special summon it, and once again you can special summon White Rose. So yeah, just starter cards really. Cool. And then the 3 Draconet. Yep, you know, you summon this and you pull out the Galaxy Serpent. So yeah, another starter cards. And then the one-offs, so I've got 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, really broken. Got a Chaos Dragon Levineer, got the Tempest Dragon, Omni Dragon Brotar, and the World Chalice. So kind of like in this deck, this is probably the only card you wouldn't want to see in your hand. Like anything else you can probably go along and work with. Like obviously you don't want to see this as well, you'd special summon it out with LP. But either way, like there's not many cards in this deck that you'll brick on, and if you start playing with the combos, it's quite a lot of fun. Cool, and then just a couple of extenders, so the White Dragon and the Black Dragon. Yeah, pretty usual. I've got 1 Phantasme, and that's because I've only got 1 Phantasme. Pulled it from a pack, I was obviously really happy. I need to try and get some more. Cool, and then I'm actually playing a small Danger Engine, and this is just more because if there's any point I kind of like brick, then these cards, you know, because they've got really great effects, like it'll keep you going, and they're all dark monsters as well. So if you've used Rokket Tracer's effect, you've got 1 of these in your hand, and you still need to try and combo off or get monsters on the field to do your link plays, these are just really good to have. So got a small Danger Engine, so do Jackalope, 2 Nessie, and 2 Bigfoot. I know the Snake or Tishinoko is the better one to have instead of probably Bigfoot, but haven't got them, so that's why I got Bigfoot. Cool. So that's it pretty much for the monsters. Moving on to the magics. I've got 3 quick launch. So once again, another starter card, really powerful. And most importantly, not once per turn. So if you have like 2 or 3 of these in your hand, you can use it 3 times. You don't have to use it once. So, really good card. And then for the IB plays, I've got the 2 World Legacy Guard Dragon in one succession. Got the Prismatic Rare for the succession. I was really happy with that. Cool. Pretty standard, you know, the special summon 1 level 4 lower from your graveyard, and then it'll allow you to move a monster as well on your main monster zone dragon, and then monster reborn, but under a link. So, pretty good. And there's actually a couple of times in my test hand where I use this to pull out Red Eyes Metal under another link, and then use Red Eyes as effect again, and then special summon another monster, so get 2 monsters instead of 1. And then for the 1 cards, I've got 1 for 1, I've got a Foolish Burial, a Dragon Swine, a Dragon Ravine for the Romulus. Pretty standard. And then for hand traps, because I'm so scared of getting hand trap, I've got 3 Call by the Grave. Managed to get 2 of the Prismatic Secret Rares. Just need 1 more, but otherwise playing the common. But yeah, pretty standard to deal with hand traps. And then I'm playing 2 Super Poly, a main deck in this. Now, the reason I'm main decking this is in my extra deck, the only target I've got is Boreas, Barlord Furious Dragon. And the reason that's the only one I'm playing and not Starving Valley is because a lot of people still play the Guard Dragon combos, or they will have some sort of Dark Dragon at some point. Like, a lot of the decks still play them, so that's why I'm main decking these. So, pretty good. And also, like, if you use it to bring out Boros Furious Dragon in your opponent's turn, you can use his effect straight away because it's a quick effect. So it just combos off really nicely. So yeah, talking about the extra deck, we've got 1 Boros Furious Dragon. Really nice, as I said, the Super Poly target that I'm playing, and can pull out in your opponent's turn. And there's a really good combo with this that I'm going to show like quickly at the end of this video. And then in the next video, there will be some test stands. So yeah, just the 1 fusion target. And then for the synchros, so 1 Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 Boros Savage, and 1 Ib. Now, one of the reasons I like this deck a lot is because if you keep your Rokket play towards the end of your turn, you can always pull out Boros Savage Dragon. And if you manage to do the Guard Dragon play, you can always put a Sayuja on it. So you always have 4 tokens, which is like quite nice. And then obviously it plays like pretty broken. So if you don't get ashed while you're doing this, like you can pretty much full combo. So yeah, that's it for the synchros. And then for the links, Sly Lambda, pretty standard just for the Guard Dragon play, which you're seeing here. So 1 LP, 1 Pisty, 1 Agropane, and 1 Zeals. So obviously you kind of do this whole play to finish on this, which will be your bounce, and these will help to pull out the other monsters. So that's that. And then you got your Romulus as well, and the Sayuja, which will come obviously towards the end of that play. And then for the boss monsters, these are what I've got. So I've got 1 Boros Guard Dragon, 1 Boros Sword, 1 Appaloosa, and 1 BLS. So this is really good because the BLS, like, you could always bring out using a level 7, so you always have the protection effect. Appaloosa, like, you can bring out with at least 4 monsters and always have the 4 negations. Boros Swords are OTK, and Boros Guard, the reason I've included this into the deck, because it works really well with Boros Furious Dragon. So Boros Furious Dragon's quick effect is you target 1 monster you control, and then 1 of your opponents, and then you destroy them. Now, it's not if you do. So you can target Boros Guard Dragon, which you can, but it just won't be destroyed because it can't be destroyed by card effects. So if you have these 2 on the field, you can use this quick effect, target your own Boros Guard, target wherever opponent's card that's troubling you, destroy it. This will survive, and then you still got this on the field. So then at the end of your turn, when it starts your opponent's phase, if there's another card you need to get rid of, you can use it straight away again because it's a quick effect. So this combination here is really good, and I'll show you in my next video how to pull that out. So that's it for the deck profile. So let me know down in the comment section any questions or any suggestions you have. As I said, I kind of built this based on the cards that I have available to me. Just showing. So yeah, I've kind of built this on the cards that I have available to me. But I found it a pretty fun deck. Main deck's 45, extra deck's maxed out at 15. And yeah, so let me know if you've got any good questions or any suggestions. As I said, bringing out another video to show you some test hands and show you how it all kind of always work. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.